CLEP English Literature Neoclassical Literature. Question 1. Recognizing a CLEP style clue, how should a character clue about the wife of Bath be answered? Option A. The remains of the day. Option B. Waiting for Godot. Option C. The love song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Option D. The Canterbury Tales. The correct answer is option D. The Canterbury Tales. The Wife of Bath is one of Chaucer's pilgrims and is central to medieval estate satire. Beowulf belongs to Old English heroic epic, Jane Eyre is a Victorian novel, Waiting for Godot is modern absurdist drama. Question 2. Examining a CLEP-style clue during author review, which writer belongs with The Tempest? Option A. Sir Thomas Malory. Option B. William Shakespeare. Option C. Matthew Arnold. Option D. Thomas Hardy. The correct answer is option B. William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare fits because The Tempest is a late romance involving Prospero, magic, forgiveness, and colonial questions. Thomas Hardy is linked to Tess of the D'Urbervilles, Sir Thomas Malory is linked to Ellie Morte d'Arthur. Matthew Arnold points instead to Dover Beach, so it does not match this clue. Question 3. Considering a CLEP-style clue, recognizing Belinda and the stolen lock of hair points to which work? Option A. The Temple. Option B. The Rape of the Lock. Option C. Frankenstein. Option D. Ode on a Grecian Urn. The correct answer is option B. The Rape of the Lock. Belinda is the fashionable figure at the center of Pope's mock heroic satire. Tess belongs to Hardy, Jane Eyre belongs to Bronte, Grendel belongs to Beowulf. Question 4. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue, when a CLEP-style passage shows that a novel stresses haunted spaces, secrecy, terror, and psychological darkness, which answer works? Option A. Neoclassical satire. Option B. Domestic realism. Option C. Gothic. Option D. Pastoral. The correct answer is option C. Gothic. Gothic fits because Gothic fiction uses fear, mystery, confinement, and dark settings to explore emotional or moral anxiety. Pastoral is wrong because pastoral idealizes rural simplicity. Neoclassical satire and domestic realism describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 5. Testing a CLEP-style clue during character review, which work belongs with Lemuel Gulliver? Option A. Jane Eyre. Option B. Macbeth. Option C. Gulliver's Travels. Option D. Frankenstein. The correct answer is option C. Gulliver's Travels. Gulliver is the traveler through Swift's satiric worlds. Crusoe belongs to Defoe, Elizabeth Bennet belongs to Austen, Estragon belongs to Beckett. Question 6. If you see Jonathan Swift, which title should you remember? Option A. Gulliver's Travels. Option B. To His Coy Mistress. Option C. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Option D. The Rape of the Lock. The correct answer is option A. Gulliver's Travels. Gulliver's Travels fits because it is Jonathan Swift's work, a prose satire that attacks politics, science, pride, and human folly. The Rape of the Lock is associated with Alexander Pope. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner is associated with Samuel Taylor Coleridge. To His Coy Mistress belongs with Andrew Marvell, not this author clue. Question 7. If a clue names preface to Shakespeare, which author is expected? Option A. Matthew Arnold. Option B. Anonymous Old English poet. Option C. Samuel Johnson. Option D. William Shakespeare. The correct answer is option C. Samuel Johnson. Samuel Johnson fits because preface to Shakespeare is an important neoclassical critical essay defending Shakespeare while noting faults. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. Matthew Arnold is linked to Dover Beach. Anonymous Old English poet points instead to Beowulf, so it does not match this clue. Question 8. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue, which term describes a comparison using like or as? Option A. Gothic. Option B. Simile. Option C. Allusion. Option D. Rhyme scheme. The correct answer is option B. Simile. Simile fits because it means a comparison using like or as. Rhyme scheme and allusion refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Gothic is also different. Metaphor makes an implied comparison, metonymy uses association, paradox joins apparent contradiction. Question 9. Preparing a CLEP-style clue, can a CLEP item about Samuel Johnson point to which work? Option A. Preface to Shakespeare. Option B. Sons and Lovers. Option C. Jane Eyre. Option D. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. The correct answer is option A. Preface to Shakespeare. Preface to Shakespeare fits because it is Samuel Johnson's work, an important neoclassical critical essay defending Shakespeare while noting faults. Sons and Lovers is associated with D. H. Lawrence. Jane Eyre is associated with Charlotte Bronte. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner belongs with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, not this author clue. Question 10. Studying a CLEP style clue. If a 14-line poem divides into an octave and sestet, which concept is being tested? Option A, ballad. Option B, villanelle. Option C, Shakespearean sonnet. Option D, Petrarchan sonnet. The correct answer is option D, Petrarchan sonnet. Petrarchan sonnet fits because the Petrarchan sonnet usually turns between an 8-line octave and a 6-line sestet. Shakespearean sonnet is wrong because Shakespearean sonnets use 3 quatrains and a closing couplet. Ballad and villanelle describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 11. Recognizing a CLEP style clue, choose the work most closely linked with William Shakespeare. Option A, Ulysses. Option B, The Canterbury Tales. Option C, Macbeth. Option D, Othello. The correct answer is option C, Macbeth. Macbeth fits because it is William Shakespeare's work, a tragedy of ambition, prophecy, regicide, guilt, and disorder. Othello is associated with William Shakespeare. The Canterbury Tales is associated with Geoffrey Chaucer. Ulysses belongs with James Joyce, not this author clue. Question 12. Examining a CLEP style clue. When T.S. Eliot appears in review, which title fits? Option A, The Wasteland. Option B, Troilus and Cresside. Option C, The Rape of the Lock. Option D, Pride and Prejudice. The correct answer is option A, The Wasteland. The Wasteland fits because it is T.S. Eliot's work, a modernist poem marked by fragmentation, illusion, spiritual dryness, and cultural crisis. The Rape of the Lock is associated with Alexander Pope. Troilus and Cresside is associated with Geoffrey Chaucer. Pride and Prejudice belongs with Jane Austen, not this author clue. Question 13. Considering a CLEP style clue, during work matching, which title belongs to Alexander Pope? Option A, The Rape of the Lock. Option B, Great Expectations. Option C, Orinoco. Option D, In Memoriam AHH. The correct answer is option A, The Rape of the Lock. The Rape of the Lock fits because it is Alexander Pope's work, a mock-heroic poem using heroic couplets to satirize social vanity. Great Expectations is associated with Charles Dickens. In Memoriam AHH is associated with Alfred, Lord Tennyson. Orinoco belongs with Aphra Behn, not this author clue. Question 14. Reviewing a CLEP style clue, select the term for a strong pause or break within a line of poetry. Option A, Bildungsroman. Option B, villanelle. Option C, enjambment. Option D, caesura. The correct answer is option D, caesura. Caesura fits because it means a strong pause or break within a line of poetry. Enjambment and Bildungsroman refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Villanelle is also different. Enjambment runs the sentence beyond the line. Alliteration repeats consonants. Octave names the first 8 lines of some sonnets. Question 15. Testing a CLEP style clue. How would a clue about John Keats most likely be answered? Option A, Paradise Lost. Option B, The Wasteland. Option C, Ode on a Grecian Urn. Option D, Midnight's Children. The correct answer is option C, Ode on a Grecian Urn. Ode on a Grecian Urn fits because it is John Keats's work, a romantic ode meditating on art, beauty, permanence, and human transience. Paradise Lost is associated with John Milton. Midnight's Children is associated with Salman Rushdie. The Wasteland belongs with T.S. Eliot, not this author clue. Question 16. Recall which author is known for Great Expectations? Option A, Matthew Arnold. Option B, Henry Fielding. Option C, T.S. Eliot. Option D, Charles Dickens. The correct answer is option D, Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens fits because Great Expectations is a Victorian Bildungsroman about pip, class aspiration, guilt, and moral growth. Henry Fielding is linked to Tom Jones. T.S. Eliot is linked to The Wasteland. Matthew Arnold points instead to Dover Beach, so it does not match this clue. Question 17. Which term fits a passage where a passage uses unrhymed iambic pentameter in elevated drama or epic? Option A, ottava rima. Option B, free verse. Option C, heroic couplet. Option D, blank verse. The correct answer is option D, blank verse. Blank verse fits because blank verse is unrhymed iambic pentameter, a form strongly associated with Shakespearean drama and Miltonic epic. Heroic couplet is wrong because heroic couplets rhyme in pairs. Ottava rima and free verse describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 18. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue, can you name the literary term for unrhymed iambic pentameter? Option A. Assonance. Option B. Blank verse. Option C. Gothic. Option D. Elegy. The correct answer is option B. Blank verse. Blank verse fits because it means unrhymed iambic pentameter. Assonance and elegy refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Gothic is also different. Free verse has no regular meter. Heroic couplets rhyme in pairs. Ballads usually use narrative stanzas. Question 19. Preparing a CLEP-style clue among these choices, which one explains a passage where a poem treats a small social event with the grand language of epic? Option A. Pastoral. Option B. Elegy. Option C. Tragedy. Option D. Mock epic. The correct answer is option D. Mock epic. Mock epic fits because mock epic creates comic contrast by applying epic conventions to an intentionally trivial subject. Tragedy is wrong because tragedy treats serious suffering and downfall. Elegy and pastoral describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 20. Studying a CLEP-style clue, how should a reader label a passage where a poem follows 3 quatrains and a final rhyming couplet? Option A. Epic. Option B. Ode. Option C. Petrarchan sonnet. Option D. Shakespearean sonnet. The correct answer is option D. Shakespearean sonnet. Shakespearean sonnet fits because the Shakespearean sonnet organizes 14 lines into 3 quatrains and a concluding couplet. Petrarchan sonnet is wrong because Petrarchan sonnets divide into octave and sestet. Ode and epic describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 21. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue. If a clue names Winston Smith, which title is expected? Option A. Midnight's Children. Option B. 1984. Option C. In Memoriam AHH. Option D. Holy Sonnets. The correct answer is option B. 1984. Winston Smith is Orwell's protagonist under totalitarian surveillance and language control. Pip belongs to Dickens, Faustus belongs to Marlowe, Okonkwo belongs to Achebe. Question 22. Examining a CLEP-style clue, identify the period linked with intellectual conceits, paradox, argumentative speakers, and spiritual or erotic wit. Option A. Metaphysical poetry. Option B. Romantic poetry. Option C. Victorian realism. Option D. Old English poetry. The correct answer is option A. Metaphysical poetry. Metaphysical poetry fits because it is commonly linked with intellectual conceits, paradox, argumentative speakers, and spiritual or erotic wit. Romantic poetry is different because romantic poetry favors imagination, nature, and emotional intensity. Victorian realism and Old English poetry point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 23. Considering a CLEP-style clue, select the term for a reference to another text, historical event, myth, or cultural figure. Option A. Allusion. Option B. Gothic. Option C. Epistolary novel. Option D. Tone. The correct answer is option A. Allusion. Allusion fits because it means a reference to another text, historical event, myth, or cultural figure. Tone and Gothic refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Epistolary novel is also different. Allegory sustains symbolic meaning across a whole work. Irony creates contrast between appearance and reality. Meter concerns rhythmic pattern. Question 24. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue among these writers, who is linked to Troilus and Cresside? Option A. Charlotte Brontë. Option B. W. B. Yeats. Option C. Geoffrey Chaucer. Option D. Lawrence Sterne. The correct answer is option C. Geoffrey Chaucer. Geoffrey Chaucer fits because Troilus and Cresside is a Middle English narrative poem focused on love, fortune, and betrayal. Charlotte Brontë is linked to Jane Eyre. W. B. Yeats is linked to The Second Coming. Lawrence Sterne points instead to Tristram Shandy, so it does not match this clue. Question 25. Testing a CLEP-style clue. If a poem uses a novel told through letters or documents, which device is present? Option A. Rhyme scheme. Option B. Symbolism. Option C. Epistolary novel. Option D. Villanelle. The correct answer is option C. Epistolary novel. Epistolary novel fits because it means a novel told through letters or documents. Symbolism and villanelle refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Rhyme scheme is also different. Frame narrative embeds stories inside a larger story. Dramatic monologue is a poem with one speaker. Satire mocks social faults. Question 26. Comparing a CLEP-style clue, can Elizabeth Bennet help identify which work? Option A. King Lear. Option B. Pride and Prejudice. Option C. In Memoriam AHH. Option D. Troilus and Cresside. The correct answer is option B. Pride and Prejudice. Elizabeth Bennet is Austen's witty heroine in A Novel of Manners. Dorothea Brooke belongs to Middlemarch, Clarissa Dalloway belongs to Mrs. Dalloway, Ophelia belongs to Hamlet. Question 27. Which term describes a novel tracing a protagonist's growth, education, and moral development? Option A. Personification. Option B. Bildungsroman. Option C. Dramatic irony. Option D. Comedy of manners. The correct answer is option B. Bildungsroman. Bildungsroman fits because it means a novel tracing a protagonist's growth, education, and moral development. Dramatic irony and personification refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Comedy of manners is also different. Epic is a heroic poem. Allegory uses sustained symbolic meaning. Satire mocks vice. Question 28. Can a CLEP item about T.S. Eliot point to which work? Option A. Mrs. Dalloway. Option B. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Option C. Tristram Shandy. Option D. Paradise Lost. The correct answer is option B. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock fits because it is T.S. Eliot's work, a modernist dramatic monologue about paralysis, self-consciousness, and urban alienation. Paradise Lost is associated with John Milton. Tristram Shandy is associated with Lawrence Sterne. Mrs. Dalloway belongs with Virginia Woolf, not this author clue. Question 29. Preparing a CLEP-style clue. If a question asks for the speaker's attitude toward a subject, which concept is being tested? Option A. Plot. Option B. Setting. Option C. Mood. Option D. Tone. The correct answer is option D. Tone. Tone fits because tone names the speaker's or author's attitude, such as ironic, reverent, skeptical, or mournful. Mood is wrong because mood is the feeling created in the reader. Plot and setting describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 30. Studying a CLEP-style clue. Recognizing J. Alfred Prufrock points to which work? Option A. Tristram Shandy. Option B. Robinson Crusoe. Option C. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Option D. Mrs. Dalloway. The correct answer is option C. The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock. Prufrock is Eliot's self-conscious speaker associated with modern alienation and paralysis. Beowulf is an epic hero, Gulliver is Swift's traveler, Othello is Shakespeare's tragic general. Question 31. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue. When a passage shows a long elevated narrative poem about heroic or cosmic events, which term fits? Option A. Villanelle. Option B. Heroic couplet. Option C. Mock epic. Option D. Epic. The correct answer is option D. Epic. Epic fits because it means a long elevated narrative poem about heroic or cosmic events. Mock epic and villanelle refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Heroic couplet is also different. Lyric poetry focuses on personal feeling, comedy resolves conflict happily, essay presents prose argument. Question 32. Examining a CLEP-style clue. During passage analysis, which term matches the clue that an object in a story carries meaning beyond its literal role? Option A. Allusion. Option B. Caesura. Option C. Realism. Option D. Symbolism. The correct answer is option D. Symbolism. Symbolism fits because symbolism lets concrete objects, actions, or images suggest larger abstract meanings. Realism is wrong because realism emphasizes credible ordinary experience. Caesura and allusion describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 33. Select the term for an implied comparison that does not use like or as. Option A. Soliloquy. Option B. Unreliable narrator. Option C. Metaphor. Option D. Symbolism. The correct answer is option C. Metaphor. Metaphor fits because it means an implied comparison that does not use like or as. Symbolism and soliloquy refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Unreliable narrator is also different. Simile uses like or as. Personification gives human traits to non-human things. Hyperbole exaggerates. Question 34. When Gulliver's Travels appears in a literature clue, which writer fits? Option A. William Shakespeare. Option B. Edmund Spenser. Option C. Samuel Johnson. Option D. Jonathan Swift. The correct answer is option D. Jonathan Swift. Jonathan Swift fits because Gulliver's Travels is a prose satire that attacks politics, science, pride, and human folly. Edmund Spenser is linked to the Fairy Queen. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. Samuel Johnson points instead to preface to Shakespeare, so it does not match this clue. Question 35. If a poem uses the continuation of a sentence beyond the end of a poetic line, which device is present? Option A, narrator. Option B, comedy of manners. Option C, enjambment. Option D, dramatic monologue. The correct answer is option C, enjambment. Enjambment fits because it means the continuation of a sentence beyond the end of a poetic line. Comedy of manners and narrator refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Dramatic monologue is also different. Caesura is a pause within a line, and stopping completes a sentence at line end. Allusion is a reference. Question 36. Comparing a CLEP style clue among these writers, who is linked to Waiting for Godot? Option A, Edmund Spenser. Option B, William Shakespeare. Option C, Samuel Beckett. Option D, Andrew Marvell. The correct answer is option C, Samuel Beckett. Samuel Beckett fits because Waiting for Godot is an absurdist drama centered on waiting, repetition, uncertainty, and minimal action. Edmund Spenser is linked to the Fairy Queen. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. Andrew Marvell points instead to his coy mistress, so it does not match this clue. Question 37. Which term describes the speaker's or author's attitude toward the subject? Option A, alliteration. Option B, elegy. Option C, tone. Option D, simile. The correct answer is option C, tone. Tone fits because it means the speaker's or author's attitude toward the subject. Simile and elegy refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Alliteration is also different. Mood is the feeling created in the reader. Plot is event sequence. Meter is rhythmic pattern. Question 38. When Volpone appears in a literature clue, which writer fits? Option A, Salman Rushdie. Option B, Joseph Conrad. Option C, William Blake. Option D, Ben Jonson. The correct answer is option D, Ben Jonson. Ben Jonson fits because Volpone is a Jacobean satirical comedy exposing greed, deception, and moral corruption. Joseph Conrad is linked to Heart of Darkness. William Blake is linked to Songs of Innocence and Experience. Salman Rushdie points instead to Midnight's Children, so it does not match this clue. Question 39. Preparing a CLEP-style clue. When a CLEP-style passage shows that characters named for virtues or vices act out a moral journey, which answer works? Option A, allegory. Option B, assonance. Option C, realism. Option D, soliloquy. The correct answer is option A, allegory. Allegory fits because allegory gives narrative elements sustained symbolic meanings, often moral or religious. Realism is wrong because realism emphasizes ordinary believable life. Assonance and soliloquy describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 40. Among these writers, who is linked to A Midsummer Night's Dream? Option A, William Shakespeare. Option B, Samuel Beckett. Option C, Percy Bysshe Shelley. Option D, Charles Dickens. The correct answer is option A, William Shakespeare. William Shakespeare fits because A Midsummer Night's Dream is a comedy that mixes lovers, fairies, mistaken identities, and theatrical play. Percy Bysshe Shelley is linked to Ode to the West Wind. Samuel Beckett is linked to Waiting for Godot. Charles Dickens points instead to Great Expectations, so it does not match this clue. Question 41. When Oscar Wilde appears in review, which title fits? Option A, The Second Coming. Option B, Sonnets from the Portuguese. Option C, 1984. Option D, The Importance of Being Earnest. The correct answer is option D, The Importance of Being Earnest. The Importance of Being Earnest fits because it is Oscar Wilde's work, a late Victorian comedy of manners built on wit, double identities, and social satire. Sonnets from the Portuguese is associated with Elizabeth Barrett Browning. 1984 is associated with George Orwell. The Second Coming belongs with W. B. Yeats, not this author clue. Question 42. During work matching, which title belongs to Mary Shelley? Option A, Sonnets. Option B, The Remains of the Day. Option C, Frankenstein. Option D, The Importance of Being Earnest. The correct answer is option C, Frankenstein. Frankenstein fits because it is Mary Shelley's work, a gothic and romantic novel about creation, responsibility, isolation, and ambition. The Importance of Being Earnest is associated with Oscar Wilde. Sonnets is associated with William Shakespeare. The Remains of the Day belongs with Kazuo Ishiguro, not this author clue. Question 43. Among these periods, which one matches empire, decolonization, language, cultural identity, displacement, and historical memory? Option A, Anglo-Saxon/Old English. Option B, metaphysical poetry. Option C, restoration. Option D, post-colonial/Commonwealth. The correct answer is option D, post-colonial/Commonwealth. Post-colonial/Commonwealth fits because it is commonly linked with empire, decolonization, language, cultural identity, displacement, and historical memory. Restoration is different because Restoration literature is linked with wit, theater, and comedy of manners. Metaphysical poetry and Anglo-Saxon/Old English point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 44. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue, how should a character clue about Tess Durbeyfield be answered? Option A. The importance of being earnest. Option B. Omrose. Option C. The Golden Notebook. Option D. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. The correct answer is option D. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Tess is the tragic heroine in Hardy's late Victorian novel. Jane Eyre belongs to Charlotte Bronte, Molly Bloom belongs to Joyce, Christian belongs to Bunyan. Question 45. Testing a CLEP-style clue if a poem uses a statement that seems contradictory but reveals a deeper truth, which device is present? Option A. Couplet. Option B. Bildungsroman. Option C. Satire. Option D. Paradox. The correct answer is option D. Paradox. Paradox fits because it means a statement that seems contradictory but reveals a deeper truth. Couplet and satire refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Bildungsroman is also different, hyperbole exaggerates, allusion references outside material, enjambment carries syntax across lines. Question 46. Recognizing Christian points to which work? Option A. The Remains of the Day. Option B. Troilus and Cresside. Option C. Lyrical Ballads. Option D. The Pilgrim's Progress. The correct answer is option D. The Pilgrim's Progress. Christian is the allegorical pilgrim whose journey represents spiritual life. Gulliver is Swift's traveler, Hamlet is Shakespeare's prince, Prufrock is Eliot's anxious speaker. Question 47. Tracing a CLEP-style clue, when the Duke describing a portrait appears in a CLEP-style item, which work fits? Option A. Sonnets from the Portuguese. Option B. Heart of Darkness. Option C. My Last Duchess. Option D. Orinoco. The correct answer is option C. My Last Duchess. Browning's Duke reveals control and jealousy while speaking about the portrait of his last duchess. Tennyson's elegy mourns Arthur Hallam, Arnold's lyric reflects faith and doubt, Keats's ode meditates on art. Question 48. Can a CLEP item about George Orwell point to which work? Option A. Troilus and Cresside. Option B. 1984. Option C. Omrose. Option D. North. The correct answer is option B. 1984. 1984 fits because it is George Orwell's work, a dystopian political novel about surveillance, language control and totalitarian power. North is associated with Seamus Heaney, Troilus and Cresside is associated with Geoffrey Chaucer. Omrose belongs with Derek Walcott, not this author clue. Question 49. Which author is most closely associated with the Rape of the Lock? Option A. Mary Shelley. Option B. Charles Dickens. Option C. Derek Walcott. Option D. Alexander Pope. The correct answer is option D. Alexander Pope. Alexander Pope fits because The Rape of the Lock is a mock-heroic poem using heroic couplets to satirize social vanity. Derek Walcott is linked to Omrose, Mary Shelley is linked to Frankenstein. Charles Dickens points instead to Great Expectations, so it does not match this clue. Question 50. When a CLEP-style passage shows that a comparison explicitly uses like or as, which answer works? Option A. Metaphor. Option B. Simile. Option C. Synecdoche. Option D. Paradox. The correct answer is option B. Simile. Simile fits because simile is the figure of comparison signaled by words such as like or as. Metaphor is wrong because metaphor implies comparison without those words. Synecdoche and paradox describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 51. During work matching, which title belongs to Derek Walcott? Option A. Midnight's Children. Option B. Omrose. Option C. The Fairy Queen. Option D. Heart of Darkness. The correct answer is option B. Omrose. Omrose fits because it is Derek Walcott's work, a Caribbean epic that reworks classical forms through post-colonial history and island experience. Heart of Darkness is associated with Joseph Conrad. The Fairy Queen is associated with Edmund Spenser. Midnight's Children belongs with Salman Rushdie, not this author clue. Question 52. Select a term for interlocking three-line rhyme often associated with Dante and later English adaptations. Option A. Terza rima. Option B. Motif. Option C. Simile. Option D. Free indirect discourse. The correct answer is option A. Terza rima. Terza rima fits because it means interlocking three-line rhyme often associated with Dante and later English adaptations. Motif and free indirect discourse refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Simile is also different. Heroic couplet rhymes in pairs, sonnet has 14 lines, ballad stanza is narrative and song-like. Question 53. Considering a CLEP style clue, identify the writer normally connected with Tristram Shandy. Option A, Lawrence Sterne. Option B, John Bunyan. Option C, George Orwell. Option D, William Shakespeare. The correct answer is option A, Lawrence Sterne. Lawrence Sterne fits because Tristram Shandy is an experimental 18th century novel famous for digression and playful narration. George Orwell is linked to 1984, John Bunyan is linked to The Pilgrim's Progress. William Shakespeare points instead to Hamlet, so it does not match this clue. Question 54. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue, if you see William Blake, which title should you remember? Option A, Songs of Innocence and Experience. Option B, Beowulf. Option C, Wuthering Heights. Option D, Gulliver's Travels. The correct answer is option A, Songs of Innocence and Experience. Songs of Innocence and Experience fits because it is William Blake's work, visionary poems contrasting innocence, experience, social oppression and spiritual perception. Wuthering Heights is associated with Emily Bronte, Gulliver's Travels is associated with Jonathan Swift. Beowulf belongs with anonymous Old English poet, not this author clue. Question 55. Testing a CLEP-style clue, how should a reader label a passage where a sentence runs beyond the line break before completing its grammar? Option A, alliteration. Option B, enjambment. Option C, caesura. Option D, end stopping. The correct answer is option B, enjambment. Enjambment fits because enjambment occurs when syntax flows past the end of a poetic line, often increasing movement or suspense. Caesura is wrong because caesura is a pause within a line. End stopping and alliteration describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 56. On a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with the Golden Notebook? Option A, Aphra Option B, Kazuo Ishiguro. Option C, W.B. Yeats. Option D, Doris Lessing. The correct answer is option D, Doris Lessing. Doris Lessing fits because The Golden Notebook is a post-war experimental novel linked with fragmentation, politics, identity and women's experience. W.B. Yeats is linked to The Second Coming, Aphra is linked to Orinoco. Kazuo Ishiguro points instead to The Remains of the Day, so it does not match this clue. Question 57. Identify the writer normally connected with to his coy mistress. Option A, Alexander Pope. Option B, Andrew Marvell. Option C, William Blake. Option D, Seamus Heaney. The correct answer is option B, Andrew Marvell. Andrew Marvell fits because To His Coy Mistress is a carpe diem metaphysical poem that moves from persuasion to urgency. Seamus Heaney is linked to North, William Blake is linked to Songs of Innocence and Experience. Alexander Pope points instead to The Rape of the Lock, so it does not match this clue. Question 58. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue among these terms, which one names drama that satirizes social behavior, courtship, class and witty conversation? Option A, pastoral. Option B, foreshadowing. Option C, dramatic monologue. Option D, comedy of manners. The correct answer is option D, comedy of manners. Comedy of manners fits because it means drama that satirizes social behavior, courtship, class and witty conversation. Pastoral and dramatic monologue refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Foreshadowing is also different. Tragedy centers on suffering or downfall, melodrama heightens emotion, epic narrates heroic action. Question 59. Preparing a CLEP-style clue, can Dr. Faustus help identify which author? Option A, Jonathan Swift. Option B, Matthew Arnold. Option C, Aphra Option D, Christopher Marlowe. The correct answer is option D, Christopher Marlowe. Christopher Marlowe fits because Dr. Faustus is a Renaissance tragedy about ambition, forbidden knowledge, and a bargain with the devil. Aphra is linked to Orinoco, Jonathan Swift is linked to Gulliver's Travels. Matthew Arnold points instead to Dover Beach, so it does not match this clue. Question 60. Studying a CLEP-style clue on a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with Dover Beach? Option A, Robert Browning. Option B, William Shakespeare. Option C, Jane Austen. Option D, Matthew Arnold. The correct answer is option D, Matthew Arnold. Matthew Arnold fits because Dover Beach is a Victorian lyric often linked with religious doubt, melancholy and cultural uncertainty. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet, Jane Austen is linked to Pride and Prejudice. Robert Browning points instead to My Last Duchess, so it does not match this clue. Question 61. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue during work matching, which title belongs to Doris Lessing? Option A. The Fairy Queen. Option B. Heart of Darkness. Option C. The Golden Notebook. Option D. Beowulf. The correct answer is option C. The Golden Notebook. The Golden Notebook fits because it is Doris Lessing's work, a post-war experimental novel linked with fragmentation, politics, identity, and women's experience. Beowulf is associated with anonymous Old English poet. Heart of Darkness is associated with Joseph Conrad. The Fairy Queen belongs with Edmund Spenser, not this author clue. Question 62. How should a CLEP author clue for Holy Sonnets be answered? Option A. John Donne. Option B. Christopher Marlowe. Option C. D.H. Lawrence. Option D. Samuel Johnson. The correct answer is option A. John Donne. John Donne fits because Holy Sonnets is a group of metaphysical poems using paradox, argument, and intense spiritual drama. Samuel Johnson is linked to Preface to Shakespeare. Christopher Marlowe is linked to Dr. Faustus. D.H. Lawrence points instead to Sons and Lovers, so it does not match this clue. Question 63. How would a clue about Ben Jonson most likely be answered? Option A. Lyrical ballads. Option B. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Option C. Volpone. Option D. Pride and Prejudice. The correct answer is option C. Volpone. Volpone fits because it is Ben Jonson's work, a Jacobean satirical comedy exposing greed, deception, and moral corruption. Lyrical ballads is associated with William Wordsworth. Pride and Prejudice is associated with Jane Austen. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner belongs with Samuel Taylor Coleridge, not this author clue. Question 64. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue if a clue names Dorothea Brooke, which title is expected? Option A. Wuthering Heights. Option B. Middlemarch. Option C. My Last Duchess. Option D. Lyrical ballads. The correct answer is option B. Middlemarch. Dorothea Brooke is a central figure in George Eliot's realist Victorian novel. Elizabeth Bennet is Austen's heroine, Clarissa Dalloway is Wolfe's character, Satan is Milton's epic rebel. Question 65. Recognizing giving human qualities to an animal, object, or abstract idea points to which term? Option A. Personification. Option B. Sonnet. Option C. Blank verse. Option D. Elegy. The correct answer is option A. Personification. Personification fits because it means giving human qualities to an animal, object, or abstract idea. Elegy and blank verse refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Sonnet is also different. Metaphor compares unlike things, irony contrasts meaning and appearance, caesura marks a pause. Question 66. Comparing a CLEP-style clue, how should a CLEP author clue for Songs of Innocence and Experience be answered? Option A. Percy Bysshe Shelley. Option B. Mary Shelley. Option C. Chinua Achebe. Option D. William Blake. The correct answer is option D. William Blake. William Blake fits because Songs of Innocence and Experience is visionary poems contrasting innocence, experience, social oppression and spiritual perception. Mary Shelley is linked to Frankenstein. Percy Bysshe Shelley is linked to Ode to the West Wind. Chinua Achebe points instead to Things Fall Apart, so it does not match this clue. Question 67. Tracing a CLEP-style clue, can Robinson Crusoe help identify which author? Option A. Daniel Defoe. Option B. Anonymous Old English poet. Option C. Edmund Spenser. Option D. William Blake. The correct answer is option A. Daniel Defoe. Daniel Defoe fits because Robinson Crusoe is an early English novel using realism, survival narrative, and economic individualism. Anonymous Old English poet is linked to Beowulf. William Blake is linked to Songs of Innocence and Experience. Edmund Spenser points instead to the Fairy Queen, so it does not match this clue. Question 68. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue on a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with Heart of Darkness? Option A. Doris Lessing. Option B. William Shakespeare. Option C. T.S. Eliot. Option D. Joseph Conrad. The correct answer is option D. Joseph Conrad. Joseph Conrad fits because Heart of Darkness is a modern novella exploring imperialism, moral darkness, narration, and ambiguity. William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. Doris Lessing is linked to The Golden Notebook. T.S. Eliot points instead to The Waste Land, so it does not match this clue. Question 69. Preparing a CLEP-style clue, choose the work most closely linked with John Donne. Option A. Dover Beach. Option B. The Importance of Being Earnest. Option C. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner. Option D. Holy Sonnets. The correct answer is option D. Holy Sonnets. Holy Sonnets fits because it is John Donne's work, a group of metaphysical poems using paradox, argument, and intense spiritual drama. The Rime of the Ancient Mariner is associated with Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Dover Beach is associated with Matthew Arnold. The Importance of Being Earnest belongs with Oscar Wilde, not this author clue. Question 70. Studying a CLEP-style clue among these titles, which one contains Jane Eyre and Rochester? Option A. The Rape of the Lock. Option B. Jane Eyre. Option C. The Fairy Queen. Option D. Ode to the West Wind. The correct answer is option B. Jane Eyre. Jane and Rochester are central to Charlotte Bronte's Gothic Bildungsroman. Catherine and Heathcliff belong to Wuthering Heights. Elizabeth and Darcy belong to Pride and Prejudice. Vladimir and Estragon belong to Waiting for Godot. Question 71. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue, how should a clue about industrial society, social reform, realism, class mobility, faith and doubt, and long novels be classified? Option A. Anglo-Saxon/Old English. Option B. Victorian. Option C. Renaissance. Option D. Romantic. The correct answer is option B. Victorian. Victorian fits because it is commonly linked with industrial society, social reform, realism, class mobility, faith and doubt, and long novels. Romantic is different because Romantic literature places greater emphasis on imagination, nature, and individual feeling. Anglo-Saxon/Old English and Renaissance point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 72. If two polished rhyming lines of iambic pentameter close a satiric point, which concept is being tested? Option A. Blank verse. Option B. Heroic couplet. Option C. Villanelle. Option D. Spenserian stanza. The correct answer is option B. Heroic couplet. Heroic couplet fits because heroic couplets are rhymed pairs in iambic pentameter, especially important in neoclassical poetry and satire. Blank verse is wrong because blank verse has no rhyme. Spenserian stanza and villanelle describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 73. Considering a CLEP-style clue, recognizing Victor Frankenstein points to which work? Option A. Beowulf. Option B. Frankenstein. Option C. The Canterbury Tales. Option D. Don Juan. The correct answer is option B. Frankenstein. Victor Frankenstein is the scientist who creates the creature in Mary Shelley's Gothic novel. Robinson Crusoe is a castaway, Faustus makes a demonic bargain, Winston Smith belongs to 1984. Question 74. If you see Aphrobane, which title should you remember? Option A. Gulliver's Travels. Option B. Ode on a Grecian Urn. Option C. Orinoco. Option D. The Tempest. The correct answer is option C. Orinoco. Orinoco fits because it is Aphrobane's work, an early prose narrative associated with colonialism, slavery and heroic romance. The Tempest is associated with William Shakespeare. Ode on a Grecian Urn is associated with John Keats. Gulliver's Travels belongs with Jonathan Swift, not this author clue. Question 75. Testing a CLEP-style clue, recognizing a narrative in which characters or events carry sustained symbolic or moral meanings points to which term? Option A. Metonymy. Option B. Allegory. Option C. Rhyme scheme. Option D. Sonnet. The correct answer is option B. Allegory. Allegory fits because it means a narrative in which characters or events carry sustained symbolic or moral meanings. Sonnet and metonymy refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Rhyme scheme is also different. Metaphor is a shorter implied comparison. Realism imitates ordinary life. Caesura is a pause inside a poetic line. Question 76. Which term describes the first 8-line unit of a Petrarchan sonnet? Option A. Couplet. Option B. Octave. Option C. Gothic. Option D. Sestet. The correct answer is option B. Octave. Octave fits because it means the first 8-line unit of a Petrarchan sonnet. Gothic and couplet refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Sestet is also different. Sestet is 6 lines, quatrain is 4 lines, couplet is 2 lines. Question 77. Identify the writer normally connected with In Memoriam AHH. Option A. Alfred, Lord Tennyson. Option B. Christopher Marlowe. Option C. James Joyce. Option D. William Shakespeare. The correct answer is option A. Alfred, Lord Tennyson. Alfred, Lord Tennyson fits because In Memoriam AHH is a Victorian elegy that wrestles with grief, faith, science, and doubt. Christopher Marlowe is linked to Dr. Faustus, William Shakespeare is linked to Hamlet. James Joyce points instead to Ulysses, so it does not match this clue. Question 78. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue, how should a CLEP author clue for sons and lovers be answered? Option A. D. H. Lawrence. Option B. Alfred, Lord Tennyson. Option C. Geoffrey Chaucer. Option D. Lawrence Sterne. The correct answer is option A. D. H. Lawrence. D. H. Lawrence fits because Sons and Lovers is a modern novel of psychological realism, family bonds, sexuality and class tension. Geoffrey Chaucer is linked to the Canterbury Tales, Lawrence Sterne is linked to Tristram Shandy. Alfred, Lord Tennyson points instead to In Memoriam AHH, so it does not match this clue. Question 79. Preparing a CLEP-style clue, can things fall apart help identify which author? Option A. William Wordsworth. Option B. Chinua Achebe. Option C. Jonathan Swift. Option D. Mary Shelley. The correct answer is option B. Chinua Achebe. Chinua Achebe fits because Things Fall Apart is a post-colonial novel about Igbo society, colonial disruption and cultural conflict. Jonathan Swift is linked to Gulliver's Travels, Mary Shelley is linked to Frankenstein. William Wordsworth points instead to lyrical ballads, so it does not match this clue. Question 80. On a CLEP study card, which writer belongs with the temple? Option A. Oscar Wilde. Option B. Lawrence Sterne. Option C. George Herbert. Option D. Charlotte Bronte. The correct answer is option C. George Herbert. George Herbert fits because The Temple is a collection of devotional metaphysical poems shaped by faith, pattern, and spiritual conflict. Oscar Wilde is linked to the importance of being earnest, Lawrence Sterne is linked to Tristram Shandy. Charlotte Bronte points instead to Jane Eyre, so it does not match this clue. Question 81. During work matching, which title belongs to Lord Byron? Option A. Macbeth. Option B. Dover Beach. Option C. Don Juan. Option D. A Midsummer Night's Dream. The correct answer is option C. Don Juan. Don Juan fits because it is Lord Byron's work, a witty satirical verse narrative associated with the Byronic voice and social critique. Dover Beach is associated with Matthew Arnold, Macbeth is associated with William Shakespeare. A Midsummer Night's Dream belongs with William Shakespeare, not this author clue. Question 82. Examining a CLEP-style clue, how would a clue about Jane Austen most likely be answered? Option A. In Memoriam AHH. Option B. Pride and Prejudice. Option C. The Second Coming. Option D. The Fairy Queen. The correct answer is option B. Pride and Prejudice. Pride and Prejudice fits because it is Jane Austen's work, a novel of manners centered on courtship, class, irony, and moral judgment. The Fairy Queen is associated with Edmund Spenser. The Second Coming is associated with W. B. Yeats. In Memoriam AHH belongs with Alfred, Lord Tennyson, not this author clue. Question 83. Considering a CLEP-style clue, if you see John Bunyan, which title should you remember? Option A. Middlemarch. Option B. L.E. Mort d'Arthur. Option C. The Pilgrim's Progress. Option D. Hard Times. The correct answer is option C. The Pilgrim's Progress. The Pilgrim's Progress fits because it is John Bunyan's work, a religious allegory that turns Christian life into a symbolic journey. Hard Times is associated with Charles Dickens, Middlemarch is associated with George Eliot. L.E. Mort d'Arthur belongs with Sir Thomas Malory, not this author clue. Question 84. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue, recognizing two consecutive lines of verse, usually linked by rhyme or thought points to which term? Option A. Stream of consciousness. Option B. Epistolary novel. Option C. Couplet. Option D. Ode. The correct answer is option C. Couplet. Couplet fits because it means two consecutive lines of verse, usually linked by rhyme or thought. Ode and stream of consciousness refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Epistolary novel is also different, octave is 8 lines, sestet is 6 lines, stanza is a larger grouped unit. Question 85. Recall which author is known for Pride and Prejudice? Option A. William Blake. Option B. D. H. Lawrence. Option C. Jane Austen. Option D. Samuel Johnson. The correct answer is option C. Jane Austen. Jane Austen fits because Pride and Prejudice is a novel of manners centered on courtship, class, irony, and moral judgment. William Blake is linked to Songs of Innocence and Experience. D. H. Lawrence is linked to Sons and Lovers. Samuel Johnson points instead to preface to Shakespeare, so it does not match this clue. Question 86. Comparing a CLEP-style clue who wrote sonnets from the Portuguese? Option A. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Option B. Virginia Woolf. Option C. Edmund Spenser. Option D. John Donne. The correct answer is option A. Elizabeth Barrett Browning. Elizabeth Barrett Browning fits because Sonnets from the Portuguese is a Victorian sonnet sequence exploring love, voice, and devotion. Virginia Woolf is linked to Mrs. Dalloway, Edmund Spenser is linked to the Fairy Queen. John Donne points instead to holy sonnets, so it does not match this clue. Question 87. During author review, which writer belongs with Wuthering Heights? Option A. George Eliot. Option B. William Blake. Option C. Chinua Achebe. Option D. Emily Bronte. The correct answer is option D. Emily Bronte. Emily Bronte fits because Wuthering Heights is a Gothic Victorian novel of passion, revenge, setting, and layered narration. William Blake is linked to Songs of Innocence and Experience. George Eliot is linked to Middlemarch. Chinua Achebe points instead to Things Fall Apart, so it does not match this clue. Question 88. Interpreting a CLEP-style clue, identify the device described as a poem in which a single speaker reveals character while addressing an implied listener. Option A. Metonymy. Option B. Dramatic monologue. Option C. Octave. Option D. Metaphor. The correct answer is option B. Dramatic monologue. Dramatic monologue fits because it means a poem in which a single speaker reveals character while addressing an implied listener. Metaphor and metonymy refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Octave is also different. Elegy mourns the dead, epic narrates heroic action, ode is a formal lyric of praise or meditation. Question 89. Preparing a CLEP-style clue, recall which author is known for Tom Jones. Option A. Derek Walcott. Option B. Edmund Spenser. Option C. Geoffrey Chaucer. Option D. Henry Fielding. The correct answer is option D. Henry Fielding. Henry Fielding fits because Tom Jones is a comic realist novel known for an intrusive narrator and carefully plotted action. Geoffrey Chaucer is linked to the Canterbury Tales. Edmund Spenser is linked to the Fairy Queen. Derek Walcott points instead to Omrose, so it does not match this clue. Question 90. During work matching, which title belongs to Thomas Hardy? Option A. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Option B. Volpone. Option C. Songs of Innocence and Experience. Option D. Wuthering Heights. The correct answer is option A. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Tess of the D'Urbervilles fits because it is Thomas Hardy's work, a late Victorian tragic novel involving social judgment, fate, sexuality, and rural change. Songs of Innocence and Experience is associated with William Blake. Volpone is associated with Ben Jonson. Wuthering Heights belongs with Emily Bronte, not this author clue. Question 91. Recognizing a CLEP-style clue, during author review, which writer belongs with Hard Times? Option A. Samuel Taylor Coleridge. Option B. Charles Dickens. Option C. Aphra Behn. Option D. Alexander Pope. The correct answer is option B. Charles Dickens. Charles Dickens fits because Hard Times is a Victorian social problem novel criticizing industrial utilitarianism and dehumanizing education. Aphra Behn is linked to Orinoco. Alexander Pope is linked to the Rape of the Lock. Samuel Taylor Coleridge points instead to the Rime of the Ancient Mariner, so it does not match this clue. Question 92. If a clue names the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock, which author is expected? Option A. John Milton. Option B. Aphra Behn. Option C. T.S. Eliot. Option D. Henry Fielding. The correct answer is option C. T.S. Eliot. T.S. Eliot fits because the love song of J. Alfred Prufrock is a modernist dramatic monologue about paralysis, self-consciousness, and urban alienation. Aphra Behn is linked to Orinoco. Henry Fielding is linked to Tom Jones. John Milton points instead to Paradise Lost, so it does not match this clue. Question 93. If you see W.B. Yeats, which title should you remember? Option A. Tess of the D'Urbervilles. Option B. The Second Coming. Option C. Frankenstein. Option D. Middlemarch. The correct answer is option B. The Second Coming. The Second Coming fits because it is W.B. Yeats's work, a modernist symbolic poem known for apocalyptic imagery and historical disorder. Frankenstein is associated with Mary Shelley. Middlemarch is associated with George Eliot. Tess of the D'Urbervilles belongs with Thomas Hardy, not this author clue. Question 94. Reviewing a CLEP-style clue, study cards should connect Elizabeth Barrett Browning with which work? Option A. Sonnets from the Portuguese. Option B. Jane Eyre. Option C. Tom Jones. Option D. Don Juan. The correct answer is option A. Sonnets from the Portuguese. Sonnets from the Portuguese fits because it is Elizabeth Barrett Browning's work, a Victorian sonnet sequence exploring love, voice, and devotion. Don Juan is associated with Lord Byron, Jane Eyre is associated with Charlotte Bronte. Tom Jones belongs with Henry Fielding, not this author. Clue. Question 95. Testing a CLEP-style clue, which term describes a mode using mystery, terror, isolation, haunted spaces, and psychological darkness? Option A. Elegy. Option B. Mock epic. Option C. Terza rima. Option D. Gothic. The correct answer is option D. Gothic. Gothic fits because it means a mode using mystery, terror, isolation, haunted spaces, and psychological darkness. Elegy and terza rima refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Mock epic is also different. Pastoral idealizes the countryside. Neoclassicism favors order and reason. Comedy aims at laughter or social correction. Question 96. Can you name the literary term for a poem of mourning, often reflecting on death and loss? Option A. Villanelle. Option B. Elegy. Option C. Tone. Option D. Bildungsroman. The correct answer is option B. Elegy. Elegy fits because it means a poem of mourning, often reflecting on death and loss. Villanelle and tone refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Bildungsroman is also different. Ode praises or meditates formally. Satire mocks folly. Ballad tells a song-like story. Question 97. Tracing a CLEP-style clue among these terms, which one names literature that idealizes rural life, shepherds, or the countryside? Option A. Symbolism. Option B. Pastoral. Option C. Iambic pentameter. Option D. Unreliable narrator. The correct answer is option B. Pastoral. Pastoral fits because it means literature that idealizes rural life, shepherds, or the countryside. Symbolism and iambic pentameter refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Unreliable narrator is also different. Gothic stresses terror and mystery. Realism emphasizes ordinary life. Satire ridicules social faults. Question 98. How should a clue about fragmentation, stream of consciousness, mythic illusion, alienation, and post-war disillusionment be classified? Option A. Middle English/medieval. Option B. Romantic. Option C. Neoclassical. Option D. Modernism. The correct answer is option D. Modernism. Modernism fits because it is commonly linked with fragmentation, stream of consciousness, mythic illusion, alienation, and post-war disillusionment. Middle English/medieval is different because medieval writing often uses pilgrimage, romance, and religious allegory. Neoclassical and romantic point to other historical patterns, so they do not match this clue. Question 99. Preparing a CLEP-style clue. If a poem presents shepherds and rural life as simple, peaceful, and ideal, which concept is being tested? Option A. Satire. Option B. Gothic. Option C. Pastoral. Option D. Modernism. The correct answer is option C. Pastoral. Pastoral fits because pastoral literature idealizes rural settings and often contrasts them with court or city life. Gothic is wrong because Gothic emphasizes terror and mystery. Satire and modernism describe different features, so they do not fit this clue. Question 100. Studying a CLEP-style clue. During terminology review, which term matches a 19-line poem with repeated lines and 2 repeating rhymes? Option A. Allegory. Option B. Personification. Option C. Villanelle. Option D. Metaphor. The correct answer is option C. Villanelle. Villanelle fits because it means a 19-line poem with repeated lines and 2 repeating rhymes. Allegory and metaphor refer to different literary concepts, not this exact clue. Personification is also different. Sonnet has 14 lines. Ode is a formal lyric. Epic is a long heroic narrative.